Have you ever thought of getting fillers done for your face, but you were worried about the side effects? You were worried if something can go wrong. Why take the risk? I'm Dr. Aniketh Venkataram, plastic surgeon at the Venkat Center for Skin ENT and Plastic Surgery. And today we'll be talking a little bit about the possible complications and side effects of fillers and how you can avoid them and be safe. Now, the first question obviously is, what is a filler? It's in the name. It fills. A filler is basically a jelly-like substance that comes in syringes. This material contains something called hyaluronic acid. Now, hyaluronic acid is normally present in the skin. It is created artificially and put into these syringes to be used for filling up areas of the face. Now, the next question is, where are fillers used? They're used primarily for two reasons. One is to enhance some part of the face. Second is to restore lost volume. As you grow older, you lose volume in the face. So for these indications, they can be used in a variety of parts of the face. So we'll see some examples over here. One example is the under eye, where it can be used to treat dark circles or hollow under eyes as one gets older. It can also be used in the lips to enhance the lips. It can be used in the chin to enhance the chin. And it can be used in multiple areas of the face to increase the appearance of the face or to reduce the aging of the face. Now, let us come to what are the possible side effects or complications of fillers. There are basically two types of complications of fillers. The first are those which are minor and they can happen with anyone whenever any filler injection is done. The second group of complications are those which are major and usually happen when something was done wrongly. So the minor complications include, firstly, you can have a little bit of swelling. So this means that initially the result can go a little bit up and down for a week, and at the end of the week you know what the final result of the filler is. Now when I say swelling, I don't mean such huge swelling that people come to know that something was done. I just mean that there can be a few small fluctuations, but this stabilizes after a week. This is especially true in the lips, where initially you might feel like it's very swollen because the lips are very sensitive and you might feel like too much filler has been put. But as the swelling comes down and the lips settle down, by the end of a week you have a pleasing natural result. The second possible complication is bruising. Bruising is when you get hit, you get a small reddish mark. That is bruising. This happens in maybe around 4 to 5% of all filler injections. Some common areas where this can happen is in the under eye and in the lips. If this happens, it can be concealed with makeup. It is temporary, but it can take around 10 to 14 days to completely go away. Now, what are the major complications which can happen? Let me first say that these complications can happen when someone does not know what they are doing and it is done incorrectly. So, the most serious complication that can happen in a filler injection is if someone injects the filler into a blood vessel or an artery. This can have two consequences. If it blocks a blood vessel that supplies the skin, you can have death of a certain part of the skin. So a little patch of skin can become black and it can die. The other big complication is if you inject around the eye and it goes into a blood vessel, it can block the blood vessel of the eyeball, and in some cases this can even cause blindness. Now I know this sounds very, very scary, but this is thankfully extremely rare, and this can be prevented by keeping notice of the anatomy of the face. We will discuss a little bit more about how you can avoid these complications in the later part of this video. The other possible complication is when you don't get a good result. This can be when either you overfill the face and the person can look like what we call a pillow face. There's just too much fillers. You can see this in especially some celebrities who have gotten work done, where the face just looks very smooth and it looks a little bit swollen. This can happen because if someone is trying to just fix everything in the face by fillers alone, which is not the best way to do things. Fillers are one part of the equation when it comes to treating aging. Along with fillers, you might require other treatments such as skin tightening, such as Botox, etc. And when you just pump someone full of fillers, they get this kind of pillow face, especially where the cheeks become like oranges and they're like really full. Other complications include where you can have like little lumps. If the fillers are put very superficially and they're not put properly, it can look irregular, it can look uneven. And another complication which can happen is if the filler procedure is not done in aseptic precautions, you can get an infection. So now that we've gone through all these complications, let us discuss how you can avoid them. The most important thing that can be done to avoid any filler complication is to find someone who's experienced in fillers. Don't go to someone who is a novice. Look for someone who is a certified dermatologist or a certified plastic surgeon with special training in fillers. Why is this training important? One, the most important thing is that they need to know the anatomy of the face. They need to know where the blood vessels are so that they can be safe and not accidentally inject into a blood vessel. This is the single best way to avoid a complication such as skin loss and such as blindness. Secondly, they know what they're doing. They know how much filler to put in which part of the face at what depth. It's not a toy that you just push it in wherever you feel like. There is a science and a method to this. And thirdly, those who are well versed in this will have all safety protocol on backup. There are things which can be done in case some complication happens in a filler, and those materials need to be on standby. There needs to be an emergency kit for any filler procedure. It should not be done like as if in a salon where this is after all a medical treatment. It is not like getting your hair cut. All the safety precautions have to be there, and all this only comes when someone who's serious about what they're doing and someone who knows what they're doing. So do your research before you find someone to get your filler procedure done. The other thing which you can do to avoid filler complications is to do things in a natural way and not overdo it. Everyone requires a certain amount of volume to restore their face. But if you overdo it, if you go beyond this, then you start having more complications. You can have that pillow face that we talked about where your face just looks swollen. You can have, when you put too much filler in someone's face, it can actually increase their aging because the skin gets stretched. Facial aesthetics usually requires a combination of treatments. So again, find someone who's well versed in all aspects of it. And finally, it would be my recommendation that you don't look to get a filler procedure done very close before a major event like a wedding. We get people who come saying, my wedding's in 3 days, please do a filler for my cheeks, or please do a filler for my lips. And I always tell them, no, I cannot do this so close to your wedding, because if you get a bruise, if you get some swelling, then it might ruin the event and you will remember this procedure in a negative manner for the rest of your life. So always time your procedure at least 3 weeks before any major event. Having said all this, there is no need to be scared of a filler procedure. The aim of this video isn't to make you feel scared. It's to educate you so that how you can undergo this procedure safely. It's a very safe, very gratifying procedure. It takes 10 minutes to do, and the results last for around 1 to 2 years depending on the filler. It's an OPD procedure. You come, get it done, go back immediately. There is no downtime. And when done correctly in the right hands, the results can be very, very pleasing. I hope you enjoyed this video on complications of fillers and how you can be safe. If you have any questions, do leave them in the comments. If you have any suggestions for other videos, again, leave them in the comments and we'll do our best to fulfill them. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Share this video. If you want to get in touch with us, our information is in the description and will be coming on the screen shortly. Thank you. Have a great day.